Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another two, or should I say three filmmakers review one film or a franchise. And today I have with me two guests. And the first guest on here, this was his idea. So I'm going to introduce him first. That is Jack Hunter the second. And then we have down, or at least from my point of view, down below is Phillip Trickey, OGP. And you can catch him on YouTube on his channel. I'll put a link below. Jack, you have a YouTube channel, don't you?
I do. I do. I am just starting to release some new music, so it's Jack Hunter, yeah. I'm just yeah, I don't I mean, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I have a lot of my director's cuts of my films on there. A lot of people I'm gonna actually re-upload a good quality version of like Paranoid Tapes 1 because like it cannot be found anywhere. And like it's crazy how people cannot find it, and I have no idea why streaming services took it down. I mean, I did call out the Illuminati in the opening, so it was kind of like so in the original. But yeah, so yeah, you can check my YouTube, check me on Tubi, check just and I if you put my name in, I am not the knockoff Indiana Jones. Someone stole my name.
I know those movies. They sold them at Dollar Tree.
I have them all.
Okay.
So it's like I haven't even watched it, but
Makes
just
sense.
because of the name. Yeah.
Sure. And then, of course, Phillip, OGP, he's got his YouTube channel. And what can we find on your channel?
Daily content. We're doing daily live streams, daily videos. We're going to be Saturday. Got a video from going to Double Down Saloon, seeing punk rock band and hanging out in Vegas coming up. But between now and then, some live streams around Vegas, Fremont Street, having some fun partying and stuff. Mondays, we're always talking the news, what's going on in the world of horror, what's coming up, reviewing what has been, and all that goodness. So just daily content. Look for me, and usually it's in the evening, maybe 7 p.m. on the West Coast. So hit up the channel and see, and you never know what's going on. There's going to be lots of fun stuff.
And Phillip's never reviewed any of my films. I'm really offended. Like, what?
I learned my lesson a long time ago of reviewing friends' films, and the problem is, let's say I watch a friend's film and I review it and I say, oh, it's great. Everybody gives me shit, and they're like, oh, you're just saying it's good because it's a friend and stuff like that. So I try to stick to like big theatrical releases as far as films go. So please don't take it personal when it comes to any of that stuff.
Well, the thing is I welcome you to say my film sucks donkey dick. It's okay. because you say that, someone's gonna go out there and be like, I want to see if this really does suck donkey dick, and they're gonna play it. So publicity is publicity. Yeah. I'm not a sore loser when it comes to that shit, unlike someone that we know. No, I'm kidding. I mean, not him. He knows who I'm talking about. So, and you probably do too. You know,
we all know Dusty.
Funny. Oh, Dusty. Ooh.
I'll just say yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is one franchise that we didn't know them at the time, but we reviewed a film on another podcast. So somebody else's, maybe it was on my channel, but anyways, it was part of a group I was in. We reviewed these movies, and one of their movies, and that was the Death Toilet movies, and we destroyed the movie. It was so bad. And but then the guys hit me up and they're like, dude, thanks for the review. And I'm like, wow, we killed your movie. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't care. And any publicity is good publicity. And they've loved it. And we've become ever since. I mean, I meet them in person at conventions and stuff now. So they're good dudes. And so understanding, I mean, you got a limited budget, and their thing was they made these movies in like one day. So
okay, yeah, they know what they need. They knew what they were putting out. They understood. Exactly. Yeah. Was this the like the baby death toilets, zombie strikes, or zombie death? That shitty 2020
no.
film?
No, these are different. I think I own Death Toilet 1 through 3. That baby death thing, A certain dusty filmmaker actually got me kicked off of the Strikes Again one, the sequel to it.
Oh, there's a sequel. Oh, I think it's just I can almost guarantee you it did not make anything. Wait, nothing was put into it. Everybody was filming at their home with their phones. So, yeah. Okay, how it spawned a sequel? That's
I guess
so great.
I guess so.
But you see like grown man's balls from the back and their ass. Like, of course we all want to see that.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
Well, and speaking of toilets, balls, and ass, we're here to review The Crow 2024. Thank you for the segue. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, and the other movies. So these are what I have. I have these, and I do own the TV show, but they're burns because they're just
of course they're burns.
So
obviously, like
burns. They're a murder. They're a murder of
because it's a gathering of crows.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jack Hunter.
Yes.
Jack Hunter 2. You liked The Crow 2024. Phillip and I did not. Can you tell us why did you like the new Crow? And be completely honest and legit and all that stuff with it. We're curious. I'm curious of why you liked it.
All right. The first time I watched Cocaine Cougar, my view on this was great. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Oh God.
Truthfully,
I just got what
see what I did there. No. After watching it several times or a couple times, I didn't enjoy it as much as I put out there. Okay. I'll tell you this, and this is why. I loved the fact that they were making a new Crow movie. I think everyone did, like in a sense of like, oh, we're going to get another cool Crow movie. All right, cool. But it stopped there. Then you watch it and you're looking at this and it's like, okay, what I'll tell you the things I liked about it, because I ever since we set this up, I did rewatch it again just to make sure my brain wasn't lying, and it kind of was. I just haven't said anything. I do believe we should still support cinema, even though I know you two didn't go see it. But I think with films like this, I'll start it off like this. With films like this, some things should not be touched. And if you're going to touch it, have a brand new story. There's a reason that the original spawned 3 sequels that did not connect to the original story, other than Sarah's character in City of Angels, which they killed her off at the end. So I like this film in it for an action film. Okay, I really liked it for an action film when it finally got there to the action, which was great cinematically done. Great. There's 3 ways they could have done it, and even agreed with the take they got from the operatic part. I completely hated the love story. I thought it was unneeded and unnecessary. I think the way they did it was very cheap, because in the original, there was no love story telling. It was shown through flashbacks, and you could really tell that they loved each other. With this film, the fact that they were both in a psych ward and they fell in love because of their crazy, and there was no real love. We got some titty shots and some ass shots from both sides, but it wasn't needed. Right out the back in the original Crow, it's like, victims, aren't we all? That's what made that the character iconic. Was it didn't give a fuck. This one ruined that. And I think if they would have chose another storyline. Like, come on, you're gonna remake the fucking Crow, all right? James O'Barr put out several iterations of the Crow, even one in the fucking Wild Wild West. You know, like I read all that shit. Like, come on, at least do a female Crow. You know, today's movies is, oh, let's make it a female, let's ginger swap and make them gay. I probably would have been okay with that. You know, I probably would have been okay. But I like the film, the fact that we got another Crow film. You know, I say it's better than Wicked Prayer. You know, I mean, I think we can all agree, even though that film, it was, I rewatched all of them recently too. So it's like, it's not that bad, but this one is better than that one. You know, Wicked Prayer will probably always be at the bottom of my list. Salvation is number 2. Comes right after fucking part 1. City of Angels. Well, actually, it's like, okay, so here we go. My ranking for it. Okay, I told you everything I liked about it. I didn't absolutely love it like John assumes. But the acting was great.
2024.
Obviously, that was me trolling. I was fucking around with that shit. So,
you also said Nickelback was the greatest band ever.
Fuck off. Don't you? That's a fucking fuck you. That's great. All
Beatles,
right.
Nickelback, Beatles, Nickelback.
Well, there would be no Beatles without Nickelback. Okay, duh. So
that's true. Nickelback
get your
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Beatles, like, who are they? Kanye made Paul McCartney famous. Okay,
they can't even
I don't know
spell
what you're talking
Beatles
about
correctly. I mean,
yeah,
how dumb are
right?
they?
Like, and their haircuts, like, come on,
Brits.
Stupid. Yeah, right. Like, go get me some tea. No, I'm kidding. So, all right, God, yeah, I thought it was a great action flick for when there was action. Oh, and I did like the fact that they introduced the Skull Cowboy, just less Skull Cowboy. You know, he had that voice of reason, like, but it wasn't what we wanted. And I think we're probably going to get a sequel, but it's going to be straight to DVD or straight to streaming. 'Cause I don't even think it made 25% of its budget at all.
No, I got the numbers right here.
All right. So, you know, but I think if it was straight to DVD, like I'd be so inclined to give Asylum the fucking Crow series just so they could put it out on Sci-Fi Channel. You know,
I can tell you, I know for a fact the Asylum was going to do a Crow movie, and they learned how bad this one was, and they said, "Fucking no, we're not touching it."
Yeah,
he
knows.
They were. I know the guy who was going to direct it, and then they shelved it.
They were probably calling it like Raven or some shit, you know, obviously because you know, the Crow.
Call it, but no,
I think they should still do it. Like, I would love to fucking see an original, you know, script or something for it. I fucking call me, I'll write the bitch. But no, I think that yeah. So my rankings for the Crow films, because I'm a huge fan. I'm a guy that would steal my mom's mascara and fucking do the lines, the eyeliner shit. Like, I was always stealing her shit. So I love. So it's like the Crow, the original, Salvation, Stairway to Heaven, City of Angels, The Crow 2024, and then Wicked Prayer. That's my rankings with it right now.
Okay, and I agree with most of that. With your ranking. Yeah. So Phillip, what are your thoughts on this new Crow and the other Crows? You know, the ones that you've seen.
So, for me, I was never the biggest. Like, I like the original Crow. I was never the biggest. It's not like my favorite franchise or anything. The only one I've seen, and so I can't even speak to the other names of the other sequels. All I know is the one with Edward Furlong is the only other one I've seen aside from the original and then the new one.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, God help you.
And it wasn't by
We'll give
choice.
you a pass.
It wasn't
We'll
by
give
choice.
you a pass
So
on that.
I was forced to watch it for another podcast. So, but I didn't care about the franchise enough to watch any sequels. So I think for me going in, I'm more of a casual fan for this franchise. So I'm looking at the new Crow, like looking at the old Crow. It's a great movie. I have a 4K copy, which is sitting, the Steelbook sitting at home on my shelf, which I'm not at home. I'm in Vegas, but I enjoy the original one. It's still not even, in, one of my favorite franchises, but I enjoy it. So going into the new one, I'm looking at this just as a movie. How are we, as a casual audience, casual fan, what is this filmmaker trying to do to pull me in to make me enjoy this movie? And as far as I know, he didn't do squat. We have a stupid love story that you have a guy who's like messed up childhood, and now he's in his fucking rehab place, and he won't talk to anybody. He's miserable, and all of a sudden, the love of his life sits down across from him, and the world is fucking turned into rainbow bright. So now, we're in love. We're doing all this, fucking stuff, and then we're going from this place to that place, this place. How would this happen? Aren't we fucking junkies? And why am I supposed to fucking care about two junkies or whoever the fuck they are stuck in a rehab place? I don't care about these people. As a filmmaker, they should have done a better job getting the audience to give a fuck what happens to these people, and they didn't. So we have two people that I don't care about, and then when we finally get, are we doing spoilers here? Are we good?
Oh yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's been out long enough.
Okay, and so on my channel, I have a picture of the worst on-screen death in not just franchise history, but in the history of fucking movies, the worst death ever. And that is when,
like, what do you mean by worse? Wait, what do you mean by worse? Like the worst
the dumbest,
shown, or is it
the dumbest kill in movie history? So when Shelley dies, they put the plastic bag over her head. You see her hands right here. Her hands are right here.
Right? Why did she do this?
Why did she poke a hole in the bag and fucking breathe, bitch? That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. I'm like, this is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever. Now, if her hands were tied behind her back, you could understand why she wouldn't poke a hole in her. Well, there's another movie that everybody should watch, but where they do have bags over their head and they can't. Have you guys seen Lucky Number 11? In that one,
a long time ago.
Okay, well, there's two guys with bags over their heads. They can't poke holes because their hands are tied behind their back. Not this fucking director. This dumbass just fucking has them.
Yeah, she's fucking, literally like this, because I just rewatched it this morning. So sadly, I've seen it twice. And and all she'd have to do is unless the plastic bag is like that thick.
No, it looks like one of those bags you get at the produce section in the grocery store.
Now, here's a question. I don't understand this too. Like maybe probably because I've never been suffocated. But when a plastic bag goes over your head, like couldn't you suck in with all the power you have and like bite down and poke a hole through the bag? I'm just because I know Michael Myers did it, in the first one with the nurse, in the car. So I'm like, why doesn't anybody ever think of that? Maybe in that moment you don't think to suck in and bite so you can poke a hole so you can breathe and act like you're dead. Even Chucky.
The director didn't tell him to do it, so they don't. But I think in real life, if somebody puts a bag over my head, I'm kicking and screaming and fighting and trying to do anything I can to get the fucking hole in that bag. So it's bad filmmaking, and that's why to me the director just failed, absolutely failed. With that, trying to get us, to care. And this is, and the problem is from the get-go with this actress, you have a director who fucked us with that and other things, but then you got this actress, Fucka Twigs or whatever her name is, that she's not an actress. She's like a singer or something. She is not easy on the eyes. And right off the bat, I paused the movie a minute and 48 seconds in, losing my shit, going, oh, she's a fucking horrible actress. The first line of dialogue she delivers sounded like shit. So I mean, like, if you're hiring somebody who's not an actress, that's fine. I get it. It is what it is. You want it. You're trying to. You're going like, okay, I got a guy who plays any character under the sun as long as you throw money at him. I'm going to bring him in. He looks like shit. Everybody's fucking pissed off because I'm redoing The Crow, and everybody, you know, is like, oh, Brandon Lee, don't fuck with Brandon Lee. And then you bring in this girl, at least get her to fucking act. Or when she sucks, tell her, take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5 until you fucking get it right. Because her delivery was just horrible. And I mean, and
Yeah.
she was not a good actress. She was weird to look at. And then to me, in the first Crow, when he's killed, so then, you know, he's buried underground, comes up out of the ground. He's kind of learning and figuring things out. And then to me, that guy, what was it, the cowboy something or whatever, that basically
The Skull Cowboy.
They have a conversation, and he's like, oh, you know, Eric, basically like, you know, no, I think Eric has the epiphany. I'm dead, right? No way, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb was that. They should have show me. It's a movie. I'm watching a story. I'm not reading a book. I'm watching a story. So show me him learning that he was dead, not going like, oh, I'm fucking dead, right? Yeah. No, it was just fucking dumb. So, man, this movie to me, I just, you know, thinking about it, having the big fight scene, you know, at the end was good. Aside from like one guy gets stabbed with a sword and makes no facial reaction. He's just stabbed. He's like this, like, and he gets stabbed. Not even or anything. He just gets stabbed, and he's like, okay, I'm dead. So I'm like, what the fuck, director? So, but a lot of the fight there at the end, it was like almost like, oh, he was trying to go John Wick with swords or something. You know, fine.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff was good. Some of the kills were good. Him holding the heads up was good. But the problem is, I didn't give a fuck, and I wanted them both fucking dead. And that's the problem. When the audience doesn't care about anybody in the movie, you know, I didn't want the bad guys to win, you know, but I didn't care about him either. So it's just, it is, a lot of people said it's a very forgettable movie. I agree with that. The acting was not good. He looked like a weirdo. His mullet, weird fucking hair thing he had going on.
Looked like Courtney Cox from Scream 3.
Yeah, just there was so much about this that I was just like, what are we fucking doing? You know, I think here's the thing with Brandon Lee passing away during the first Crow, and the passion and the fan base that, you know, everybody's love for that movie. It shouldn't, don't ever try and remake it. Call it The Crow something else. Call it the fucking Crow meets Pennywise or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But fucking redo it. But don't make a sequel, make another sequel, make, you know, a remake. But yes, like I agree with you. Give us a different story. We didn't need, you know, I mean, this story is a little different, kind of the same as the first one, but give us something different, you know, and leave the original alone, because, you know, you can take the Crow, the idea of the Crow, of you dying and your true love, you know, being wrongfully killed, and you having the ability to come back and avenge her or whatever. Make that scenario anywhere. And that's, I guess, when it comes to the sequels, one of the things that you can say, okay, maybe the movies are good or bad, but there are different places, different people, whatever, that's all plausible. It doesn't have to be Eric Draven. It could be fucking Joe Schmo. It doesn't matter. And so that's what they should have done. They should have, you know, pick, you know, if they want these two cast members, one, don't make them douchebags. Make us care about them, and make it different. Don't make it Eric. You know, call him something else. And so I think they could have done a lot of things, a lot of simple things to make this a much more enjoyable movie. But it was like I felt like the director didn't even give two shits. He knew it was going to be bad. He just took his paycheck and he went home. That's how.
Because I don't. And you know, you mentioned something I didn't see. I didn't think about. What the fuck was up with the horse dying? Were we supposed to relate to his character as a kid? Like a horse dying traumatized him his whole life?
Because the filmmakers don't understand the comics. They don't get it. The horse in the comic is a symbol for Eric not protecting Shelley. That's what the horse is. And that's not brought up in this at all. It could be, because if you notice, it's in barbed wire at the beginning and then it's free at the end of the movie. Also, it looks like maybe Eric's mom is dead and the house burns down. So there's something about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you
It's
realize
just never.
this fucking sucker punched you, and I'm talking about the movie Sucker Punch, this film never happened. She survives. He dies. So at the end, she comes back to life. So which means everything from her coming back to life from that moment on doesn't happen. Nothing happened in that movie, which means all the bad guys are still out there. Our lead bad guy is still out there. All these people are still out there. It's just like that movie Sucker Punch, where you realize at the very end,
hate Sucker Punch.
Right when she's about to get the nail in her eye to get the lobotomy, is this entire film never happened. It's literally like 3 seconds of her life is in this over 2-hour movie. And by the way, this is from the director who had the affair with Kirsten Stewart. So he
shit.
The director
he's the one that split up. He's the one that split them up. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm Team Edward. So yeah, he did Snow White and the Huntsman. He also did Ghost in the Shell.
He just gets a little points for me, man.
Yeah, with Scarlett Johansson
to hook up with her, man. That's at
that time. Right now, not so much. That time, she probably has a bigger dick than me. Right now.
What?
Have you seen her lately? Did you see it? She looks like a freaking. Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't think I've seen her.
With the short hair. Did she cut her hair and everything right? Or
she looks straight. Word rhymes with bike.
Oh.
Oh wow. Okay. I've normally found her kind of sexy. So but yeah, Snow
not lately.
Which is supposed to be pretty good. Ghost in the Shell, which I've heard is whitewashing because they took Scarlett Johansson and put a white girl in there instead of an Asian girl. But I've never seen the movie.
It bombed. It bombed.
Yeah,
bad.
The Crow, and then he did one episode of Foundation and then a couple of music videos. So this gives him the authority to make The Crow. And by the way, The Crow's budget was $50 million and it only made $18.7 million.
Nice.
So that's and
you know what? No, go ahead. Well, wait. See, that's the equivalent of what in now times what the original Waxwork movie made compared to now. And then that spawned a sequel because it was probably a passion project for the filmmaker. But
the Anthony Hickox film in Waxworks 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It didn't even make maybe over 25%, but its budget back, if that, for part 1, but yet spawned a sequel. Yeah, like what the fuck?
Wow.
Well, that's all. That's all video stuff too, and I think Waxworks did have like a small release, but the sequel, direct to DVD. But this is. It's the biggest bomb of 2024, so it made less money than Borderlands, but the same company, and only released a couple weeks later, like 3 weeks, I think. So they had 2 bombs
I turned
back
it
to
off.
back.
I turned. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I fell asleep in Borderlands. I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Which was probably like what you guys were talking about with The Crow. Like, I wanted to like it so bad. Like, how could you go wrong with Jack Black and Jamie Lee Curtis in the same movie and Kevin Hart? Well,
very wrong.
You can.
Yeah. It's just, if you put Jack Black and Kevin Hart in it, you can't take it seriously at all. It's all just goofy. And I've never played the game, but from what I understand, it shouldn't have been goofy. It should have been more like violent and crazy, rather than like what seems like might have been even kid friendly. So,
well, and the ages were off on basically all the people, especially the women. Like, Kate Blanchett should have been like 20 years younger. Jamie Lee Curtis should have been 20 years younger.
But does their age impact the storyline? or it's just because that's what they did in the game. If it
Uh,
doesn't impact the storyline, then who cares?
I mean, I guess would be
It doesn't. It doesn't.
an energy
Okay.
level, I guess, to a point, which was my complaint.
Yeah, it was.
With Michael Keaton with Beetlejuice is that he doesn't have the energy that he has in the first movie. So
boring juice.
juice. Yeah. Juice suck. Beetle sucks. And so I was and I have been a big fan of Bruce Lee. I went to go see all these movies in the theater when they played in Pasadena. Like, we go down to Chinatown and we'd see all the Jackie Chan movies, we'd see all the Jet Li movies, we would see all that stuff. And then as they slowly came out on like laser disc, including the Bruce Lee stuff, we saw that. So I was a massive Brandon Lee fan. I was huge. I saw everything he saw in the that he made in the theater, and I was really supporting him to become like this huge action star with like Showdown in Little China and Rapid Fire and all that. And I cried.
He would have been great.
He died.
Yeah.
I
Can we
was
all
really
agree
upset.
that this Crow is actually better than?
No.
Oh, then Terrifier?
No. Phillip probably would.
Come on.
Oh, maybe not. No, because you really didn't like The Crow. I love Terrifier 1 and 2. I absolutely love them. I'm waiting for. I can't wait for part 3.
Terrifier is
I support Damien. Is a what?
Is a crap franchise. I hate those movies.
Okay, see, I do agree. I support Damien, and I'll probably go see the third one, unfortunately. But yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. It's
the stories are just so dumb.
Yeah.
So this is my thing. I don't care. First and foremost, I don't care about effects or any of that. I want a good fucking story. And the first film there, the two girls, there's this creepy clown or whatever, like, oh, we got cars fucked. We need a way home. Let's go into this creepy ass abandoned warehouse. What fucking girls would make that decision? Nobody would make that fucking decision.
Well, only one
especially
of them
the hotness level
bathroom, and it is a normal looking guy outside, like taking a smoke break. But that's a whole different video on that.
It's a whole other podcast.
I love part 2 more than part 1, and I cannot
Dude.
wait, and I'm hoping
part
2
was
is
elements too that were fun. But man,
part 2
it's
was
45
2.5
minutes
hours.
too long.
I'm hoping that
45
Terrifier
minutes.
3 is 3 hours.
It's too long.
You cut out the whole
Yeah,
dream
it's a fucking
sequence
mind.
bullshit. All the dream sequence, cut all that out. And then when they're in the car and the girls are yelling at each other, you cut that down to like, instead of like 2 minutes of screaming, you cut it down to like 10 seconds of screaming. It's like the audience understands you two are fighting. We don't need to hear it over and over and over and over and over and over. We get the point that the story has been communicated. Move on. And
this is the wrong podcast, Phillip. We'll do that next time. We'll do that next time.
I'm gonna have box office disagrees, fans disagrees, so I'm gonna have to disagree.
You keep saying that. Okay, you've said that for several films. Just because the box office says, "Oh, it made all this money," doesn't make it a good fucking movie.
No,
John.
because Beetlejuice made a lot of money, and it's not a good movie.
Yeah, no, that's
to you,
that's exactly it.
To
yeah,
you guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've never
if you didn't like it, cool.
Yeah.
I did say, and I agree, and I will stand by this. I said this in my review for Ghostbusters Afterlife. If you're a filmmaker and you liked Ghostbusters Afterlife, you probably shouldn't be making movies. I said that in my review.
I will wait till I come to Vegas. Wait till I come to Vegas, John. You and me, we going on. Let's go. Phillip, you see this? I know whose house I'm sleeping over at.
Yeah. So the bottom line is you can enjoy movies. Like, there's movies like on my Letterboxd. There's movies that I give a 1 star, but I still heart. I know there's trash.
Right.
I still had fun. My thing is, I'll give like on there, I'll give the Terrifier 1, maybe give it 2 stars. Part 2, maybe I give it 2.5 stars. Neither one of them are getting a heart from me, just because there's so many bad things about them. But I understand. For example, another movie that is complete fucking trash, but it has its fan base, is the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's so many fucking problems with that movie. I mean, I ripped it to
I don't
shit.
think I can't imagine anybody like the new one.
No, so there are a lot of people that go like, "Oh, there was a lot of blood, there was a lot of violence, so it was fun." And so they're out there. In fact, that Fat Samurai guy, him and his wife, they know it's bad, but they had fun with it. And so there's the
No,
problem.
I no.
And you can't judge, you know, just whether a movie has issues or whatever. It is the big picture, and it's not about how much money it made, because like with Beetlejuice, there's a nostalgia factor. Ghostbusters, nostalgia factor.
And
People
that's
are
a
still gonna
problem.
go watch that shit, and that's where, and people, it's become like, especially with Terrifier, it's become trendy. It's become the cool thing to do in the horror community, to go see these fucking movies. And now, of course, because I'm a reviewer, I got a channel, I will go see the third one. I will fucking hate it, but I got to talk about it. But and hopefully I walk out and it pisses me off enough that I get a good rant out of it, because when I do, I wind up getting 2,500, 3,000 views. So hey, that would be great. But it is what it is. This movie,
we need to be best friends, Philip.
I walked away from this movie going, you know, for getting back to The Crow, I walked away from it going like, the acting was stupid. The director didn't give a fuck, and I don't care what happened.
The director blames you, by the way.
Forgetful. Well, hey,
the director does. He blames the critics for the film bombing. He blames you.
Another one of those, huh?
See, that's I will wait. Here's the thing. I will say, what is truly killing cinema is Rotten Tomatoes scores before the movie comes out. Like, people are basing that, but I'm not saying that's going to make the movie even better. But if we didn't have that rating before a movie come out, then it wouldn't be as subjective to the viewer.
Yeah.
You know, like if we see something with a 17% score, we're going to go in thinking, oh, this is going to suck. You know, a lot of people didn't like it. So therefore, you're already in a mentality that's going to suck. Back in the 90s and 2000s, we just went to see a fucking movie to see if it was good or not.
Yeah.
You know, there was none of this other bullshit.
Well, see,
but that's me.
But I think kind of the flip side of that too is like a perfect example. Let me just say this first. I love the Saw franchise. I like all the movies. Saw X, I loved it. I thought it was great. Okay. But I went into Saw X with such high expectations. The movie was never going to match my expectations. So I think at the same time, even if it is rated very highly, you know, you need to kind of temper your expectations and go in. And there's been movies since then that haven't looked that good. Like, for example, Immaculate. I went into Immaculate, didn't have the greatest score, and I fucking love Immaculate. You know, the ending, the very end scene is one of the most ballsy scenes by any filmmaker in a long time.
Well, it's what the first Omen should have been.
Yeah, well,
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
Garbage.
I have not seen it.
Okay, well, yeah, I won't say anything. But but you know, I understand what the scores. And for me, the Rotten Tomatoes, the expert scores, I almost always just disregard that shit. It's what the fans think. And so a lot of times you don't get
the expert scores are so they get entrance into these film studios. It's so they get the free screenings, so they get the free movies, so they get the so they get the little gift packages. That's all it is. So if you're seeing The Acolyte, that and the critics review on that is 80%, that's because they want that free trip to to friggin' Disneyland so they can meet Leslie Headroom or Leslie Forehead and Kathleen Kennedy, because all they're going to do is shill for that show, while you have the fans of the actual Star Wars fans where the reviews are way down here, because that's what the show really is way down here. It's not a bunch of people giving it this great review so they can get access to Star Wars and Disney. So that's where Rotten Tomatoes is awful. And they've even said that it's fake, that a lot of this stuff is fake. The guy came out during COVID, like right when COVID ended, they did talk about how a lot of that stuff is bots.
Of course it is. And I haven't watched The Acolyte. I've seen, and maybe it's because like
don't need to.
I have no interest. I love The Mandalorian. I love Grogu. I love the House of Fett. You know, that was all great. But then they kept coming out with this other shit. It's like, what? And like, okay, let's continue the race story at least, you know, like, or have something new that doesn't take place, you know, in that time. Let's create a whole new thing. You know, let's get a new villain that's actually worth a fuck. You know, that's not going to switch sides at the very end. I mean, technically, Kylo Ren is just Darth Vader 2.0. You know, if you think about it with the story, but I'm not knocking those films.
Then
I've never. Well, is that a live action?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It takes place. It's Star Wars in suburbia. Like literally suburbia. Huh? It looks like a Steven Spielberg movie. It looks like Poltergeist, where with like regular houses and everything, like track housing. Yeah, watch the trailer for it. It doesn't look anything like Star Wars at all. So you might like it. So, but I'm going to kind of swing this back to the Crow.
Yeah, back to the Crow.
Because what you're saying applies to the Crow. Too is love the first movie. Everybody dresses up. All these guys, including women, dress up like, you know, Eric at Halloween. You're not going to have any other people dress up like any other crows from any of the movies, especially this new one. And I will give them credit on most of the sequels and stuff that they, even though it's the same, it is different. And my rating on those is very close to yours. Love the Crow, the original. I think Salvation is the second best one. I love that they did do something different. He's framed. He goes to the electric chair. They fuck up his, you know,
his face.
Him being electrocuted, and his face is all burnt. And he pulls it off, the burnt skin off, and that causes the Crow makeup, which I thought was really cool because he does it with his fingers. I like his jacket. It's almost very Candyman looking because it's got like the kind of like the fluffy stuff on the sides. I like that. I'm really surprised of the actors they got in there, like Kirsten Dunst and Fred Ward. And my God, it's like, how are William Atherton? How did you get these people in this? Then I would probably say after that, I guess it's got to be City of Angels. But my problem with City of Angels is Harvey Weinstein took Bill Pope's film and completely re-edited the movie to where Bill Pope rejects the film, the director, because Harvey Weinstein said, I want the Crow. So it is literally, if you play them back to back or side by side, it's the same movie. And my big problem with City of Angels is, what year and what city does this take place in? Because it literally looks like it takes place in the year. Yeah, it's like, why does this look like it's Mad Max? It looks like it's in the year 3000. It's so weird of how different it looks from the first movie, but it's different and it's beautifully shot and it has Iggy Pop in it.
Yes.
So you got to like that.
It's right. Now, I completely agree. Yeah.
I did watch 4 episodes of the TV series and Stairway to Heaven. I watched the first 3 and then I watched the episode with the female crow. And I liked the episode with the female
episodes.
Crow. I wish that they would have done a Highlander with it, where they would spin it off with the female crow. Because I've been saying for 20 years, do a female crow. Why are all these male crows?
Me too.
You can't do it now. You cannot do a female crow now. It will bomb worse than this one. Because
I think if they did it a TV series, like if Hulu picked it up or Paramount, it could do well.
I don't think here's the thing climate, because of DEI and diversity and all of that. Look at they did a female version of National Treasure, and it tanked.
DEI is somebody who's hiring people, like, or something.
It would just be looked at, if they did a female crow, it would just be looked at as being woke. That's all it is. And so they couldn't do it. They would have to do a female crow like 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
But what about this? Huh? What about this example? There's I don't think it got as bad reviews as I kind of expected, but what about the new Hellraiser movie with the female Cenobite?
Fucking loved it.
I loved it too.
It's actually
great.
Dude, it's my 7-year-old daughter's favorite film of all time. Like,
well, I think you can switch up to I mean, there's always been female Cenobites, but
in the book, the Hellbound Heart, Pinhead is not Pinhead. Pinhead's never referred to as Pinhead. Fans gave him the name Pinhead. It's just a thing. And that creature is, and this is from Clive Barker, it is not male, it is not female. It is a demon.
So it's
by
basically
them,
non-binary or gender
well,
neutral.
so by them
Pat?
casting
It's Pat.
a trans, yeah,
You get that
exactly.
reference.
By them casting a trans person in the new Hellraiser completely worked if you go off of the book.
She's not
So,
trans.
The actor's trans.
In the new,
No, the chick.
in the new,
The chick is not
Hellraiser?
trans.
Trans, or at least
No.
non-binary. Yeah.
Doesn't count. Non-binary.
she,
no, shut up. It doesn't count.
The lead on the new, I mean, she might think she's a dude or whatever in her head, but I think she was born with a vagina.
Yeah, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
I am pretty sure that the actor / actress that is playing this does not consider themselves to either be male or female. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that the person that they purposely casted that person because of what they consider themselves to be.
I don't know. Phillip, you're researching it right now. I can
I'm
see.
looking at it. I don't
true.
see it. Yeah. I see.
Yeah, I don't think it's true.
On that, I see women being women, men being men. But I mean, I don't know. I'd have to.
Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I read that.
If she's trans, then her rack is. Then that dude's rack is great. He has a great rack.
I would have to go back and watch it again for that. But so yeah. I want to go. So for the TV series, I'm not a fan of the show. I have to admit. I originally saw the pilot. I thought it was okay. Mm-hmm. They combined movies 1 and 2 together to do the show. Yeah, it's because the pilot episode begins with him at Cinco de Mayo. It ends up with, it's not Devil's Night. He's in.
Oh, fuck.
And he falls out of a portal. He doesn't come out of the grave. Yeah. He falls out of this weird portal. And the wife is
I know, I've watched it.
Like the Skull Cowboy in a way. But
yeah, she would be.
Yeah, and I did find it interesting that he's kind of like the Hulk. That when he looks like normal. And then when he gets mad, he turns into the Crow. He gets the makeup. And then when he's not mad, it disappears. But I'm watching the 3rd episode, and all of a sudden there's a knock on his door where there's been 2 murders, and the window's still smashed out. He really has no furniture in this place. And the landlord knocks on the door and goes, if you're going to live here, you got to pay rent. And so he has to go out and find a job. So the Crow has to go find a job to pay rent.
So here. So wait, have you seen you've not seen the entire the series? You haven't seen it at all?
No, I have every episode, but I only watched.
But you haven't watched it, okay?
And then episode 15 with the female Crow that I really liked.
Okay, so there's a sequel episode to the female Crow. You need to continue it. It's all right. So the interesting thing about the series is that yes, he has to get a job. He actually goes back to his old band, which makes no fucking sense. Everybody's weirded out. Like, no one thinks of this shit. Like you know, the music you're hearing, seeing this guy play, like everyone knew the guy in this club. So that's what doesn't make sense. But what I did like about it, it kind of goes against killing. Because if you kill someone, if the Crow kills someone, they come back as an evil Crow. And that is pretty cool. Snake, the snake,
They
so they're the evil Crow
and stuff. So it's about redemption. It's not about revenge, which I guess for a TV show you kind of have to do. But I found it funny is in that second episode. Well, I guess it'd be the 3rd episode. Is the girl that's there, the skateboarding girl, Sarah? She has a book, and she goes up to Eric and goes, "Oh, I found out more about this whole legend with
the lore.
You can't, you didn't die because now you have to go help people." And that's why, and I'm like, oh, isn't that fucking convenient? Is it okay? That's how you continue the show. Is he's never going to die until they feel that he's fulfilled helping people. And so I only really watched the first three or four. I don't know how they're grouped together with the pilot, because it's 2 episodes. And then I said, no, I just want to watch the one with the female crow, because that did interest me. Because I was hoping they would do like Highlander with the Raven, that maybe they would have the regular show and then they would branch out with the female Highlander. And so I love the idea of the female crow. I just don't think you could do it today, because it would bomb like Furiosa. It would bomb like Ghostbusters 2016, because everybody would think she's a girl boss. So, you know.
Yeah, but I will tell you this: when you get to the final episode, it is the one episode where he turns into the crow, and he is identical to Brandon Lee in that final fight scene. I don't know if this was intentional, but when I watched it, I was in awe because he looked like fucking Brandon Lee. And the one thing I don't like about the series is the Jekyll and Hyde play on the character. I don't like that because, like, the guy, you know, Eric doesn't speak as the crow. He's like, well, the crow wants this. Like, he speaks in a first person. Like, I don't like that shit. But for Salvation, he fucking turns into a crow, and that's what I fucking love. The first time he ran off that building onto the car, bruh, it was like badass.
Really,
and also,
I really liked it.
Rob Zombie was originally supposed to direct it, but had issues with Harvey Weinstein. Go figure. Ended up having one of the best soundtracks compared, you know, in comparison to the first film of the entire franchise. And that's one thing that sucked about the new 2024 one. There's no fucking soundtrack. How can you make a fucking Crow movie without The Cure, without Nine Inch Nails? You know, what the fuck?
The music in this new one was fucking horrible.
Yeah, you hated the music in this one. I actually like the score in this one. I don't really care about the songs and stuff, but going off of the kind of like what Jack just said, so there is listed unmade films. The Crow, The Bride, in which a woman is killed on her wedding day and comes back for revenge. This would have been in the 90s.
Rob Zombie should direct that, because fucking, you know, Sherry Moon Zombie would now be the fucking Crow.
Yeah,
you know, likely. I would approve of that more so than this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking of Rob Zombie,
maybe more than this movie, yeah. Or Crow, more than Sherry being Lily Munster. Jesus Christ.
The Crow. Wait. I think I know the one you're about to say. Go ahead.
The Crow 2037 was 1997. Yep. Rob Zombie was attached.
Yep.
And then the third was The Crow Lazarus with, and this is 2000, with rapper DMX.
DMX. Yes, they had the whole, dude. Okay, so back then,
a black crow. Yeah, so that would have been.
It was so hyped up online. Like, I was on the forums. That's what we had back then. It was. I mean, we were losing our shit over this. We're like, all right, when is it gonna come out? We're so excited, and then we get Wicked Prayer, and we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, we could have had Lazarus. We were so excited about DMX, man. They even did a cover shoot, if you could, a photo shoot of a concept art with DMX as the Crow. Let me try to find it, and I'll send it to you, John, so you can put it on.
I do have to say that I agree with Jack, where I can't really put The Crow the series in my ranking, as I haven't seen them all. So I'm going to leave that out, even though I did like that one episode. But yeah, I did like the remake of The Crow. And then the last would have to be Wicked Prayer. I messaged Phillip saying this is like the worst thing I've ever watched. I hated Wicked Prayer. It was so fucking boring. I thought it was awful.
Yes.
God, was it boring. But I like everybody who's in it. And I even got to work with Tara Reid. So it's like, so I even worked with somebody from that film.
Yeah. Well, I like most people that were in Rob Zombie's Monsters, but doesn't make that movie any tolerable.
No.
Yeah,
but Daniel Roebuck was good. He was good as Grandpa.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like everybody that was in the movie, but it just was a terrible movie.
Well, it wasn't made for us. It was literally made for children. That's the thing where everybody fucked up. Like, it should have been made for us, but it was made for children. It was like you think you're gonna get fucking, you know, the classic, but you just got a updated version of Pee-wee's Funhouse, like with the same humor.
Yeah.
Well, he was
like,
doing like like Monsters. Was it Monsters Go Home, Monsters Race Again? He was doing those G-rated movies that really were aimed at kids, that were in color, where the TV show was in black and white. So he should have. Yeah, I don't think that he should have aimed it more that way. There also should be a black and white version of the movie.
I mean, anything he wants to do, but the problem is, and he even came out and said it, this is supposed to be a young Lily Munster meeting, you know, Herman and stuff. But the problem is, fucking Sherry Moon Zombie looks old as fuck now. She couldn't look like a young Lily.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, not to, you know, keep beating up that. I love everything else Rob Zombie did, and I know, you know, people look at me fucking sideways when I talk about movies like
I'm looking
31 or Lords of Salem, and I enjoy it.
Sideways. I have a love-hate relationship with his movies, but I love his music. So
yeah, and one thing we're not wait. Okay, so getting back to The Crow.
Yes,
one thing they did, and they slightly did it. They fucked up the face paint. Like, bro, if you're gonna be the Crow, be the fucking Crow, not minimal Crow.
I hated that face makeup with him.
Yeah, and like
Phillip brought up
he dies 3 times, and on the 3rd time, he finally becomes the Crow.
Okay,
like,
so this is where I will slightly defend it. I did enjoy the progression of the Crow, just going from regular clothes to him then getting the jacket, the putting on the makeup. And that he does, by the end of the film, become the Crow, almost like this is the Crow origins. So I did like that. I did like the score. I didn't hate the songs as much the second time, but because I guess they are doing it as modern day stuff. But if you were somebody like Rob Zombie making the Crow, you would include, you know, The Cure or the Smiths or something like that. You know, you would put those
9 Inch Nails at least.
9 Inch Nails, something in there, you know, because they did Hole did the song for City of Angels, which is great, their version of Gold Dust Woman. It's
at least get Iggy Pop to do something. At least do something.
He's the best thing. Well, and Tony Todd is in City of Angels. I mean, you got a great cast in City of Angels. I would love to see a director's cut of that. But I don't
no. Tony Todd's in the first one. He's not in the second one.
Oh, that's right. He's in the first one. Yeah. I think it's just Iggy Pop is the big guy that's in the second one.
Yeah. And it's some. We got the Black Crow at the very end, which didn't last long.
Oh,
that was like what, like a good 30, 45 seconds. See, the thing is, Alex, or no, not Alex. What was his name? Eric. Alex is third. What's his name? He's like, I hated his fucking voice, the way he talked like this. I am the epitome of evil.
That's the villain in the second one. Yeah, who has that?
Yeah.
Death of crows, the murder of crows, and that is so awful.
Yeah. You know what you call it? Gathering.
Like Jaws, because Phillip just watched all the Jaws movies. So almost like The Crow is Jaws, City of Angels is Jaws 2, Salvation is Jaws 3, and then
which I love the most, by the way.
Wicked Prayer is Jaws 4.
Wicked Prayer. I could see that. I could totally see that. Like, because I just said, like, I loved Jaws 3D. I know it. There's not really even a real tie-in, except they lived on the beach in Amity. That was it. But I really I loved. I don't know. I like Jaws 3, even though a lot of people didn't die from the fucking shark. You know, if when you look back at it, you know, it's still. I mean, think about it. If I grew up in the 80s, like I was, like if I could go to the D, I would have shit my fucking pants at the end. I'm sorry, with those graphics, then I would have shit my pants. That you know, it's terrifying.
The problem with 3, the biggest problem with 3 is that they were making movies. It became very trendy to make 3D movies back then.
And I saw them.
The technology wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And so, especially now, we watch these movies in HD and we go, ugh, you know, because they were just too far ahead of themselves. And so,
Or Jason 3D Part 3. Like, what the fuck? Why is it shot like that? Then you realize, oh wait, it was supposed to be 3D.
Yeah,
because now you watch those films and somebody goes, here, have an apple.
Yeah,
and their hand goes right into the camera, and you're like, why is their hand going right into the camera? And then somebody goes, because
or the eyeball
back in the 80s. Oh yeah, with the guy Friday
yeah.
But
it's like, why is it shot like that?
I saw every one of those in the theater.
You're old, John. You're old.
I am old.
That's why he doesn't like a lot of movies. He's an old dirty bastard
today. So
congratulations. Did you get your double ARP yet? Did you get your double ARP magazine?
I am now getting those in the mail, and I am going to sign up because you get discounts. Thank you very much. So I am going to sign up for those. So yes, I am going to sign up for that. And I've now started eating brand cereal.
Yes. Good for the blowouts. Yeah. Keep the pooper popping.
Well, so it's funny that, today's my birthday, but you would think I would be reviewing something good. Instead, I'm reviewing The Crow.
Like, happy birthday to me.
Right. Well, see, and that's what I watched that on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And then I posted about it the day after. So everybody's like, oh, happy birthday. I was like, no, it was yesterday, fuckers. But whatever.
I got that movie. Happy birthday to me is right there.
The one thing, okay, so like we'll get back to The Crow, but like the one thing about those movies, like Happy Birthday to Me, there are so many like knockoff, whodunit mysteries that back then. They all tie in together, like Graduation Day and Happy Birthday to Me. I couldn't tell you which film is what because they all have like the track runner suit and like you don't see the killer. It's just the POV. So it's like
made him great.
It is, but it's just like I can't differentiate. The only one I really did anything original was April Fool's Day. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Well,
but if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like Graduation Day and another one. Maybe there, you could compare elements, to other movies and stuff, but still Graduation Day.
16 Candles.
I love it.
16 Candles. It's like they're all the same film to me.
Graduation Day and 16 Candles.
No, wait, no, not the Sweet 16. It's called Sweet 16.
Oh,
not the Molly.
That's right back here too. Yeah.
Yeah, totally different films. My bad.
You could get 16 Candles and Happy Birthday to Me. They could kind of go together. Have like a double.
Did I miss out on a Molly Ringwald shower scene? Is that what happened here?
Dude, she
I think that's it.
She went topless in a movie, and she looked amazing.
Oh.
Malicious,
I'd still hit it.
I believe it's called Malicious. Oh my God, she looks great. She's on a boat.
She was great in Jim and the Holograms too. Okay, it was a great movie. I don't care what everybody says. Fucking love that movie.
I can't say nay or yay to that. I haven't seen it.
I have the poster of it. It's not on my wall, but I do have the poster. Okay.
So,
anyways, back to The Crow. Yeah. So my rating. You want to get ratings or should we?
Well, let me just say.
People.
I want to agree with a lot of the stuff that you guys said and then also kind of say something else, which is like, I don't care about like what Phillip said. I don't care about drug addicts. I really don't. Unless it's train spotting, I don't care. I really don't, because that's made by well-made filmmakers, Danny Boyle and stuff. And so you actually care about these drug addicts. I don't care about these drug addicts at all. And then when they do go to that like rehab place or asylum, whatever it is, fuck, that place is nice. I would like to go there. That wasn't a prison or a jail.
Yeah, I know I've been to several institutions in my life because I've suffered from depression and PTSD, anxiety from the military. So I've made some actions that I'm not too proud of in my life. But none of them have looked like that. None of them would allow you to have a female in your fucking room. Okay, if that's a thing, I want to go. I want to fucking go there. Like, for real. Sign me the fuck up.
What are women and men doing together in fucking a jail or a rehab place? Give me a fucking break.
They
wait. Actually, they do have different hallways.
They are separated. So even
in the institution. Wow.
I mean,
okay.
I've never been in one. I've never been institutionalized in any one of those places. But I worked for a company where I have like delivered food to those places, many different places. the men and the women typically are not even in the same fucking facility. They're in different like towns or different, you know, they're not together. It just to me, I had a hard fucking time buying that at all, that they would be able to intermingle. You know, it was
Well,
fucking
and
weird.
what does Shelley contribute? So he's like, I will give you my soul for hers. What does she contribute? She doesn't
Yeah,
have a
that
kid.
that
He's gonna get his dick
She's
wet.
not a
That's what it was.
scientist. Yeah, that's and it's there. She's the one that kind of introduces in the movie the drugs to him, even though he is a drug addict too. But she's the one who brings it to him. So what does she contribute to have him say, you know what? She's got an 8-year-old kid. You know, I have nothing. Let's let her live and I'll go to hell. And there's none of that. These people are not good people at all. What is the
Yeah.
time frame from
yeah.
when they very easily escape from this institution, and then we see this montage of them? Like, is this 2 years?
Wait, I'm gonna cut you off right there real quick. I escaped from one. Facts. Like it's in my medical record. I escaped from a mental institution. I escaped like a motherfucker. It is very easy if you really want to do it. So I can
Okay.
believe that. But I think the time frame is, I'd say, about 3 months or so, because you know the bad guy says, I'm getting tired of it, we need to catch her. Then all of a sudden they fucking catch her. And by the way, was there a Sarah character? Was it the friend that was trying to warn her at the club? Is that Sarah? And that Eric finds and says, hey, you need to get the fuck out of here. You know, like, there's no.
I mean, they did do something. They did do something different. But her friend that has that video and sends it to her, what a shitty friend.
Guys,
Did the friend
yo
not know?
yeah.
Oh, if I send this video to people, it's going to endanger their lives.
It's literally The Ring. Like, you're fucked. Like, you're fucked if I send this video to you.
And it's, and then of course, you know, Shelley, she's running from the people, and she ends up with the 2 cops. Okay, so the cops get her for drug possession, but why not go?
She did that on purpose.
Right, but why not go? That guy's after me. That guy's
because there'd be no
me.
proof. There'd be no proof. The cops were in cahoots, weren't they? At least no.
I didn't get that they
cops?
were, that they just got her for drug possession, which is, you know, and then eventually they found her. Anyways, now at the end, Shelley is singing on stage. We do get that, which is weird. They're in that one apartment, which might be the friend's apartment that Shelley stays in, and he has the recording stuff. So we don't see you guys get jobs. We have no idea how you get money, but yet you have like a recording studio in this apartment where she's kind of singing. Where
I didn't get any of that. I did not get any of that at all from anything. There was no. It's a fucking mess, man. It's what we call like a gumbo down here, down south. You throw everything in there and you try to, you know, you make it taste good, you know, but they didn't add the right ingredients with this one.
No, and it just doesn't. It's too trippy. It's too cosmic-y type of thing that people can't relate to it. People can relate to Brandon Lee's or any of the other guys because it's real life.
The original writers
in reality.
Yeah.
That if you just like, you know, the O'Barr, like the original writer of the comics, lost his girlfriend to a drunk driver, and the crow was his therapy. Right. That you can relate to. You hear that and you can relate to that because everybody has had somebody who's died.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So, but when you have it where you're grabbing the bad guy who can whisper in your ear and you turn into a zombie and he's immortal, and then you throw him through a mirror that then lands him in purgatory with you. This isn't the Matrix. This isn't where nobody is going to go, oh no, we live in the land of the crow. That's what we live in. We don't live in the Matrix. We live in the land of the crow.
Yeah.
And where does he walk off at the train station? Like, does he just like walk into the real world? Because they didn't differentiate that world from the real world.
Oh,
like he just walks off
because that's a reshot ending.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård hates that ending. He's been very vocal in that. Originally, he dies and that's it. The movie's over. and then she goes
like
and sings in
all the
coffee
other
houses.
films,
Yeah, but
like
in
the other
this,
films.
they want to do a franchise, so they have the shot of him walking down the train tracks, and he's like, and he even says like, my job isn't done as he's walking down the train tracks, and Bill
Yeah,
Skarsgård hates that ending. And I'm
they're gonna
tired of
just
the friggin' Skarsgårds. Can we please get rid of them? Their dad is awesome. Their dad is a
hold
great actor.
on.
I don't want the Skarsgårds. They're
Look,
like the fucking Baldwins. Can we please get rid of these people?
Oh no,
already?
don't do that. They're not the Baldwins.
yeah, but they're all talented. They're all talented though. The Baldwins
But
is
they're
a
used
they're
way too
half
much
the
like
Baldwin.
the Stranger Things kids. Can we please not put them in movies for a while? Can they please just not make movies? Not everything has to have a kid from Stranger Things in it.
Yeah.
That's what ruined Ghostbusters for me. Well, one of the things that ruined Ghostbusters for me.
That's another topic. But anyways, my rating for The Crow, I'm not gonna give it a number. I'm gonna give it a meh.
Okay. So if it was on the poster, it would just go in quotes, meh. Jack.
Meh.
Yeah.
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 Meh.
Eh.
Meh.
How do you feel about
Well,
this
meh. Meh.
Do you give it a meh, Phillip, or do you actually give it a number?
My rating is, man, I was trying to think of something as fun as meh, but my rating is my rating is a solid fuck the director.
Okay.
So it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
How'd you like the movie? Okay.
Fuck that guy.
Okay. No, for me, it's, I mean, if we're going 5 stars or whatever, it's a 1. And it's only because of the fucking kill fight scenes at the end. And they didn't even do
I second that.
Yeah.
I second it. It's a meh. It's serious. That is like a 1 is a meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
You're so worn down by the time you get there. It's just like, okay, this is cool, but I still just flat out don't give a fuck.
I mean, Brandon Lee in the original with the writer, how it was, someone was dying every 7 minutes, which is the way you're supposed to, or 7 to 12 minutes. Like in this one, he jumps through the window and kills the people in the car as it's driving.
Over
and then
30 minutes it takes.
Yeah.
It's just Crow stuff. 30 minutes. We spent 30 minutes on a relationship that I don't believe. I do not believe this. I have hooked up with dates on the first date, sure, but we didn't fall in love after that. We just hooked up. It was a hookup. That's all it was.
News. You never hooked up with nobody on the first date. Fake news.
Fake news.
Yes. Her name is Rosie Palm. She lives in Canada. She was going to.
Are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me?
Are you cheating on my who's cheating on me here? It's
I don't know, you stranger.
There's a YouTube video that uses all of the original Creature from the Black Lagoon footage of the creature hitting into things like doors and windows and people, and it just says fuck this guy. Or no, yeah, it just says like fuck this guy as he knocks a guy off the boat, fuck this door and he breaks through a door, fuck this window and it breaks through the window, and it's from the 3 movies. And that's how I think of this film, which is like, yeah, fuck this director, fuck this writer, fuck this, fuck this Crow, fuck this. I mean, I remember originally with Phantom Menace. I remember when that came out, people said, fuck Darth Maul. Nobody's going to dress up like this guy. Nobody cares about this movie. And boom, Darth Maul became huge. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe down the road, somebody will dress up like the Crow.
Midichlorians, but whatever they fucking call the
Jedi.
Yeah, I'm Midichlorians. Yeah. Oh, his Midichlorians is off the roof, off the charts. What the fuck? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Still better than anything Disney made, but yeah. So so that's true. Disney should be burned to the ground.
How dare you with Grogu? Grogu. Man,
I liked him when he was the child. He didn't need a
yes. Name. Right. Agreed.
Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2. fuck part 3.
Yes.
Fuck season 3.
Wait, I didn't
Jack
watch.
Black
I didn't watch. I didn't watch season 3 yet. There's a 3.
Yeah, it's
Fuck.
garbage.
I need to go watch it.
It's awful.
Well, that's probably why. Okay.
They removed the
Fett was the House of
Mandalorian
Boba
from
Fett.
it. So
The House of Fett
is in it. They made the female.
Wait,
Boba
there was a
Fett.
3 after that?
There's a season 3 of the Mandalorian. It's already done. It's been done for like a year.
Oh.
Yeah, you can go watch it.
I've been.
Everybody hates it.
I went through a lot of shit. Okay.
So,
Which means I'll love it, according to John.
probably, yeah.
According to John's theory, if the world fucking hates the movie, I'm
Jack
gonna
will like
absolutely love it. Yeah,
and,
Jack
and
will
if,
like
and
it.
if the
Yeah.
world, but then of course all dislike it. So if Mandalorian 3 is hated by everybody, Jack will like it. If Beetlejuice, everybody loves it, John will hate it. So
facts, because I fucking love it. Leave me alone.
So, but okay. So, but if I did have to give like an actual rating, I would probably give this 1 star only because I was not bored. That was it. I actually watched it the second time. I was not bored.
Yeah,
it's just not a good movie.
Yeah,
I agree, and I'm sure my whole rating on this and like my my opinion on it probably shocked the fuck out of John because he thought he was gonna come into like, Jack, you suck for your opinion. Quite the opposite, actually.
I knew you either had very bad taste or you were trolling. What are the other? So,
there's no in between.
No. So, all right, guys, anything else else you want to bring up with The Crow 2024 or the original movie or the
tell everybody, don't waste your time, skip it, hard pass.
How about streaming? Watch it on
but
streaming?
If you yeah, I mean, if you have nothing better to do, and it's like, unless there's like a director's cut where it's like explicit nudity, but even then it's kind of like,
no, but you want to see fucking Twigs nude? I don't want to see that fucking
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And the way she went to the premiere, it looked like a fucking alien. Like if you see that picture,
it went in with the fucking skullet.
Yeah, I didn't
fucking skullet, dude. What the fuck was that, man? Yeah, no, what a weirdo, ugly weirdo. Sorry, like, I don't mean anything. I don't know her personally or whatever, but if you're gonna put yourself out there in the public eye looking like that, then you get to be called a fucking weirdo.
Facts all day.
Yeah.
All day.
And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So maybe
correct.
Eric
now, would I kick her out of bed?
Gorgeous, but we don't.
I don't know. I mean, I probably, yeah, it'd be a.
I mean, she's no Harley Quinn, and a lot of this plays off like the new Joker movie. When they see each other in the trailer and Harley Quinn and they look together are the same thing as The Crow. So it's
I have a theory about that film that I hope I'm not right, but I'll get that on another episode of 2 filmmakers or 3, 1 film.
Okay. I'm looking forward to Joker 2, but the reviews so far have been bad.
This is 3 filmmakers, 37 films is what we've covered today. So
right.
There we go.
Yes. So 3 filmmakers franchise. There you go.
The franchise edition. So
the franchise, yes.
Okay. So that's it. So overall, the 3 of us cannot recommend The Crow 2024. So okay, we'll leave it at that. But we do recommend the original Crow. We do recommend that, of course. Yeah.
Except Wicked Prayer. Every other sequel but that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
God, was Wicked Prayer bad. Oh, God. It was awful. And I shouldn't feel sorry for Edward Furlong. I really shouldn't, because it's like nobody asked him to do drugs and all that. But I do feel sorry for anybody who was in that movie, even though I like all of them. So
David Boreanaz, like, Jesus Christ, bro, you were a hot icon and you did that film. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, they must have known
from
somebody.
Angel. And from Angel, one of the most successful spinoffs in like TV history. One of the top most successful spinoffs. To The Crow, Wicked Prayer, which is I'm good. But this
Yeah.
one did get a higher score on Rotten Tomatoes than Wicked Prayer. So that tells you fucking something. Like, we're not wrong. We're not wrong here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If the bad remake gets a better score than the third sequel, but fourth film. Yeah, that says something. So, all right. So
but,
we're going
wait,
to...
real
what's that?
quick. One thing I will say, I'm glad they didn't do, and maybe it would have been better if they did, but I'm glad they didn't pull a 2021 was it 2021? Yeah, a 2021 Candyman on this film.
Oh, so funny you bring that up, because I know you hate that, and that's my favorite Candyman, and I love that film.
I know.
And that is
I think we
almost
reviewed
what
it.
I wish that they would have done. I wish that this new crow would have been one of those every 10-year things to hold the copyrights, because then they could have done a crow where all the other crows, of course, obviously not Brandon Lee, but they could have had other crows in it.
Mark Dacascos. They could have been Mark Dacascos.
They could have brought him back, and they could have done something like Candyman, where even if they don't bring back the other crows, or maybe just one crow, it could be that the crows have existed for centuries or something. That's what the new Candyman is, since Tony Todd's
Okay,
Candyman.
Catwoman. Halle Berry Catwoman story.
Hey, to quote, I'm going to be you for a second. Catwoman is the best movie ever made. It is great. It is awesome. But she does look good in that suit, though. So
it's not a chick. It was her stunt double. Oh,
doesn't matter. It was a dude. She still looks good.
But it's not her.
And
it's
Sharon
the dude.
Stone looked
good.
So.
Oh, goddamn right.
Phillip, have you seen the new Candyman?
No.
Oh God. Don't.
I love the new Candyman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's still the best Candyman.
By the way, whenever you see someone of our race on there, they're gonna die. They don't even have to be the ones. They don't even have to be the ones saying it. They're gonna die.
Black people die. What are you talking about?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Basically, Evil Dead Rise.
Another film I loved.
White guy shows up. You're dead.
Rise. Anyways, this has been 3 filmmakers, 1 film. We're not talking about those. John, do your exit. Find me on Tubi, my new film Blamed, and music on iTunes. Jack Hunter, My Vinyl Asylum, and this is Phillip. He has a YouTube channel. Spill it.
There we go. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you watching this. Please like, subscribe, comment. What is your favorite crow? Did you like the new crow? Let me know down in the credits. And we will see you on the next
comments.
In the comments. Make comments in the comments. And we will see you on the next video. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. 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 And wrap. There we go. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.